Welcome, and now I'm gonna show you how to make disfocusing or blur effect, like a camera disfocusing, using the nodes, time node and blur node. So start that with my default render scene, and just gonna go to that view and simply have my own the cube. Press 7 top view, spacebar, add mesh plane, as to scaling. Press 0 to go to my camera view, and simply have a box and a plane. This is just very simple. Alright, just for example, my box, I'm just gonna give it a material. Just gonna make it dark red and just white, no problem. I'm gonna press 7, go to my top view, push my light a little bit, duplicate my light so I can have more lighting. 0. Okay, now I have just a normal box, a cube with a normal ground. Now, in order to do the blurring effect, this focusing, we're gonna use the nodes. So I'm gonna go over here, click on that, and choose nodes. Okay, I have to make this smaller. Node editor. So pull all the way up. Okay, my node editor. So I'm gonna click on that. Composite nodes. Click on it and then use composites. And by default, it's gonna show me the composite that I already have, which is render layer and my image. So I'm just gonna disconnect that by clicking on it and leave it like that. And then I'm gonna add filter, blur, and just kind of lay them around. And simply if I connect that right here and that right here, and then my y-axis, x-axis, and to see the results of that, how it looks like, I'm gonna simply have to switch over to first. You have to check one option on the render button. You have to select to use composites. Do composites. That way you will be able to see it. Click on preview. I'm gonna render that real quick. Okay. Here's how it looks like. You see, like, it's blurry. So I'm gonna switch back to my node editor. So now I can just press only F12 to render. And now as you notice, it showed up in over here, like your last layer, and also it showed up in here. And as you change these, your view or your composite preview will show. See, as you notice, it's going away. So I'm gonna add like 5 over here, and so now it's so blurry, as you see. To make this change over the timeline, like a camera like this focusing, very simple idea. I'm simply gonna add a time node. So click on add, and then I'm going to I'm looking for time. I don't know where it was. Vector, color, output. Go to output and then time. And simply here I have my time curve right now from 1 or 0 to 250. Simply I am just gonna disconnect that one and put image. Actually, I'm not gonna disconnect it. Sorry about that. see here I have size. I'm gonna connect that to size, so that rather than giving a value of a size, like see here the value is like 1 affected by 1, I'm gonna affect it by time instead. As if you notice the blur gone away. um, Simply what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add points to that. So right here, by clicking on add a point, so at 0 it will start completely disfocusing. Right here, which is about like 50 frames, and right here, and then when it ends, it's gonna end up looking good. So that's simply like very blurred, not blurred, blurred, not blurred, and then goes all the way down to 0, not blurred at all. So like it goes higher value. So as your timeline goes from 0 to 250, it's gonna look like a camera disfocusing. So to show you what I mean, if I go down to the button and I'm gonna go to frame 250. I'm gonna press F12 to render that. See, that's my last frame looking nice, not blurred. But if you remember on my curve point, the first frame was all the way up in the curve. So I'm gonna give you a render for that to see how it looks like. And that's my first frame. So if you render the whole animation, it will look like this focusing, you know, like somebody's zooming in and out. And if you move your camera a little bit, also it will give it a very good effect.